Expo.
Well, thank you for having me. This is an amazing event. I'm going to be completely honest. This is my second time I'm coming. I wish I would have met it before.
Second time coming.
Second time. Yeah.
And what was the difference between the first one and this one?
More turnout, a lot more people. I see a lot more professional. This is something, it's very interesting about this event that I love coming and seeing. It's a lot of business owners, business to business, are here to connect, to meet other business owners and, to do business, with the city, with the county, with, we have the metro, actually attending. They have a booth. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen it grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're listening to this and you didn't come to the Houston Business Expo, come check it out. So Andres, what do you do?
Well, actually, we have a capital consulting firm, Evemar Capital, and we specialize in SBA loans, anything for businesses in regards to capital, startups, you name it, all the way to real estate, of course, and investment properties as well. We have another division that does that. So, and we also do the consulting for companies when it comes to cost segregation, revenue recovery, and other things that business owners are going to need.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So is there any tips that you have or anything that someone that's listening could raise their hand and say, you could help me?
Well, look, I think that, and it happens all the time. I mean, I love coming to these events. Why? Showing up, it's half of the battle. When you show up with your company, with your services, with your skills, then you provide, basically a lot of services for a lot of people that are looking for what you're offering. Well, they already come to these events and looking for you. So I can tell you that just showing up here is the first step. Second thing, prepare yourself. Make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that you bring, all of your, call it elevator speech, operations. Yes. What can you help people? What problems are you solving? Because this is really what people are coming here to do, to solve problems with other business owners.
I love that. I love that. So specifically, what are things that you could help them with? Like, is there something that how to qualify for a SBA loan, or asset recovery? There's a lot of different things that you're doing. So like, what are you finding to be kind of some of the trend buckets that when people come to you, it kind of rhymes, right?
Yes, I mean, trust me, everybody comes kind of like, very similarly, or in very similar positions. What are they looking for? Usually capital. But what happens? What we end up finding is that after we have a consultation, free completely, they go in, and get the link and, sign up for a consultation. We start looking at the company and we start looking at how to solve their fiscal, financial, and operating problems. So there are some things that maybe we need to prepare to get you qualified for prime capital offers from different lenders, which is basically what we try to do, put you in a better position.
And so can you give a little bit more detail on how someone knows they might need capital, right? Because everybody wants capital.
Yeah,
right?
everybody
wants capital.
Yeah.
But like, how would you know if your business is in the place where someone your company could help them?
Absolutely. So one of the things that you're going to find is either you're starting or you're already established, but you find yourself without the means to be able to get more payroll, maybe get a lot more equipment, maybe you need a bigger location because your capacity is running out, from the location that you have. I think that we are experiencing right now one of the most interesting times when it comes to the disruption of supply chain that is happening all over the world that is going to drive a lot of the growth here domestically in the U.S. A lot of our conversations now are about reshoring, nearshoring, bringing in a lot of the manufacturing back here and using the fiscal code to be able to help you to save money on all of those taxes that I know basically they're preparing right now for July in the United States.
So there's a lot of companies contacting us that are in Mexico that are like logistic companies or manufacturing companies trying to reach this market, and the nearshoring's happening because, I don't know if they got the tariffs worked out or not, right? Like it feels like it's going to go back and forth, right? But it looks like Mexico is going to be potentially a target for that. For that minus the transportation cost, there's a huge opportunity to make it very competitive.
Well, one of the things that I'm explaining a lot of my Mexican brothers, basically that we do business with, and Mexico, 50% of the food products are coming from Mexico. Actually, from our vegetables and everything comes from Mexico. 50% of the United States vegetables come from there. So what happens? We have a lot of supplies there that are still going to provide us that because we don't have the capacity either by climate, by global position, geopolitics, you name it. But also, we have a lot of manufacturing from the vehicles, and parts that maybe some of it is going to be still there, maybe some of it is going to be here, maybe a lot of companies are retooling now or finding ways to do M&As, mergers and acquisitions, to be able to fix that supply chain. So a lot of my Mexican clients, I tell them, this is the best opportunity for Mexico to continue to grow because we are deglobalizing a lot of our supply chain. So they have the opportunity to provide us with a lot of things that we used to go to Asia to.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So I have a big question for you.
What?
So if someone's trying to get capital here and they don't have credit, and they're in Mexico, like providing a lot of traditional banks don't provide loans to people unless you've established credit in the U.S.
Yeah.
And I know that this conversation for those that are listening is going more towards nearshoring, but I think it's really, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be operating in this space from different directions. Can you help those companies that need capital here that have a lot of assets in Mexico, and how does that work?
Well, very interesting because, actually 90% of our clientele is from Mexico, so on the international side. What we're finding is that a lot of companies from Mexico are getting the point that the United States is not going to just continue to, let's say, deploy capital to overseas or outside. But if you are a company in Mexico and you want to continue to be, or even position yourself in a better position to be able to take advantage of this, well, you got to find a way to create a binationality. Binationality means that, I still do a lot of my operations in Mexico, but I have now a 25%, 30% plus operations here. What does that mean? I'm going to need logistics, I'm going to need vehicles, I'm going to need a warehouse. And guess what? The United States, it's looking to help you to establish yourself, even as a foreign company, to acquire assets here in the U.S. So we do have funds, basically in Washington and all of that they're interested in doing that. Why? Because they want to continue to grow the United States market when it comes to manufacturing and so forth.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll bring it all the way back and say, can you share maybe one success story of like a typical business owner that came to you and you were able to help, and how it helped transform their business?
Absolutely. Well, look, one of the things that we look at is, we don't just look at it, most clients come, I need money. Okay, well, what do you need the money for? A lot of times in just that conversation, what we realize is that they need a different kind of capital that they were wanting. Sometimes they want a line of credit. I need a line of credit. Why do you need a line of credit? Well, I need to expand my building to this, and that. Okay, no, you don't need a line of credit. You need an actual term loan that we can put it on a long term, or either, let's say we do an improvement, either leasehold improvement or property improvement. So we can put you in a 25-year term or 30-year term instead of a line of credit that we're going to try to term it out in 5 years. So it puts you in a lot more tighter position. The secret right now is to make sure that you get the right kind of capital for what you are going to need to grow your business. Not MCAs, a lot of detanglement basically in MCAs, that's what we do. We try to put clients in a better position. A lot of debt restructuring. And so that's some of the things that we need to talk about.
And that's something that a lot of the big banks don't do, and you need to meet with a consultant to do that. So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you to find out?
Absolutely. They can contact us at evemarcapital.com. Andres Business Finance, you're going to find me in all the web. I am the vice chair of the Cámara de Empresarios Latinos de Houston, which is the biggest Hispanic chamber here in Houston in Spanish. So we're trying to educate a lot of Hispanic business owners also to help them grow.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love this event. I love Freddie. I love what he's doing. This really, this is a labor of work, of love. And you gotta love businesses. You gotta love people to be able to create such an impactful event. I love people that make these events happen. So I wish you guys the best of success.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.